This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. I've got two things on this Ubereats video. One is a suicide on Saturday night. Now, I wasn't in the city, but it made local headlines. A woman jumped off an 18-story building. So knowing that it was Midtown, and generally all points Midtown West I'm getting to on a fairly regular basis. I was very curious, not just that it was Midtown, but exactly where it was. So I went to the detail of the story. I found the name of the hotel and I Google mapped it. And then since then, I have been back to the location of the suicide. So here's what I did. So I went here, maps, and Herald Square, West 35th. So from here, I was able to go right to this intersection. And then here, that's it. So this is, no, that's 35th. This is wrong. That's the cross street. This is 6th Avenue. Yeah. So 35th running up and down that way. That's incorrect. This is 6th Avenue. So up here is Bryant Park. And eventually you get open sky without additional buildings lining the road. And that's because that's Central Park. So this is 6th Avenue in Midtown. The cross street here is 35th. So if you look to this intersection right here and up, that is where she jumped. And even though I'm in New York often, and I look up at tall buildings, nothing seemed taller than that last night. So right there, right here, listeners, it's hard to see, but I want you to trust me on this. That is an M for McDonald's. I guess I can go like this. Cool. That is the M for McDonald's. So this is kind of why I took the time to go in and find it. So when I got called back to there again by Uber, and I'm about to go through those details. I was off today, so this would have been Monday. I went back into that McDonald's. I asked the security guard, I said, hey, I think there was a suicide here Saturday night. He didn't know anything about it. So I told him what I knew. And then when I got the food of the Uber Eats person, I asked the people behind the counter, and they gave these like modest, affirming nods, but it would have been awkward for them to say anything. So I didn't ask them to, and they didn't volunteer. So anyways, that's where she jumped. The story is she was out on Saturday night with her husband, and she threw herself off a rooftop bar on top of that building. Even though it's not that tall, it just seems to scrape the sky now that I know what happened there. She fell here to 6th Avenue. She hit a bus and bounced. The body hit a bus. When she died is questionable. When she became she and she became a body, I don't know. But it was probably upon impact or very shortly after. Her body fell into the second lane because this first lane had a bus parked in it, an empty bus, which they always are. For some reason, the buses park there, which is a problem for me coming out of this McDonald's. Okay. That's listeners, if you want to read more about that, the Marriott Courtyard, whatever the date was, Sunday, what is today? Thursday the 7th, so we got the 6th. Was Wednesday, the 5th was Tuesday, 4th. This would be the 3rd, so this would be March the 3rd, Sunday, March the 3rd, Saturday night, she jumped. Don't know her name, don't know anything, don't know more than that. So I'm also going to try something new here because I think I've got this app that I'm going to explain why it's unique. I've been through 3 or 4 different apps to try to find a feature that this one has, and I'm going to try it. I've done some testing, and I'm going to try it here for the first time. So I'm going to Uber driver. And this right here is misleading. Anyone that earns boost, anyone that earns boost has reason to know that these numbers don't match. So here's all the earnings I have for the week, March 6th, $31, but yet I really earned $71. Now, of course, I'm happy about that, but how do I reconcile that? The answer is right here. Includes surge, boost, tips, and tolls. Surge, it doesn't say tips. Surge, boost, and tolls and tips, that's all in the 31. But it doesn't include Quest. Now, Uber probably has a reason for it. I don't know why, and I don't really care as long as they pay me. If I wasn't getting Quest, I would have been looking for an alternative to Uber a while ago. But as it is, I'm going to stay with it. And this isn't bad. 9 trips. I worked less than 6 hours and made more than $10 an hour. For where Uber fits in my life, this is okay for me. So I'm not looking to maximize my time, reduce my downtime, and get more out of this. I'm just gonna work it. Like Missy Elliott says, work it. So I can go here. So here are my 9 trips. And the green marks check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There they are. So I'm going to do this. This is the reason for this app. I'm going to record. Now this app has a special feature that records in the background. So now I can go ahead and switch to Uber, and I can do this. 470, 274, 281, 302, 265, 322, 266, 430, and 520. So now I'm going to get out of that. Whoops. I'm going to go to my voice recorder and stop. I meant to stop. So now I stopped. So now I have it right here. Records in the background. I'm going to pause. So now in addition to recording in the background, also plays in the background. Now this doesn't seem like advanced features, but it did not exist on the default voice recorder I have with this LG phone. So now I'm going to the calculator. Let's see how this works. I have not rehearsed this. Play. So now I can go ahead and switch to Uber, and I can do this. 470, 274, 281, 302, 265, 322, 266, 430, and 520. So now I'm going to get out of that. Whoops. I'm going to go to my voice recorder. I assume that's 322, so that's probably wrong. This is 322. So let's proofread these. They look right. No, they don't, because I wouldn't have a 0 there. So that would be 3130. So now if I go back to Uber driver, and I go here, 3130. Look at that, listeners. Awesome. So that's where the 3130 comes from. So let me review that again. I've got this extra complication in here which is distracting. So very simply, all I did is I went here. I wanted to find out where that number came from. It comes from trips. So I go and I take these 9 numbers and I add them up. 470, all the way to 520. And those numbers added together are 3130. All right, so now I believe I can get the 7170. So let me go back to the calculator. Clear. I'm going to go back to the voice recorder and delete. And now I go and record. I want to get this ready first. Transactions. So I'm going to start, that's the money that I was just paid. So then this started. So I'm going to go 270, 200, 270, 200, 400, and so on. I'm going to do that in the recording. A little slower this time. Testing. Okay. 270, 200, 400, 274, 400, 281, 400, 302, 400, 265, 400, 322, 266, 230, 2, 10, 320, 2, 10. Okay. So there's my recording. And when I said 10, I really mean, instead of 200, I mean 1,000. Because I'm leaving the decimal out. I got to remember that when I add. So now I should be able to go here. Testing. And then...
Okay. 270, 200, 400, 274, 400, 281, 400, 302, 400, 265, 400.
Shit!
322.
I went too fast.
66.
Damn it.
230.
All right. Piss me off. All right, so here we go. Starting again. I thought I went slower. So now I go... play.
Okay. 270, 200, 400, 274, 400, 281, 400, 302, 400, 265, 400, 322, 266, 230, 2, 10, 320, 2, 10.
2 is... This was a botched recording. So I'm going to do this again. Now, listeners, if you're staying with me through this, you obviously think I'm on to something. And what I'm doing, I'm making it look very difficult. But even if I were making it look easier, it's still not easy. So here's the list again. I'm going to start here. I'm going to go slower. Slower. And I'm going to read the 10 instead of 10. 10 is going to be 1,000. Record. Testing. 270. 200. 400. 274. 400. 281. 400. 302. 400. 265. 400, 322, 266, 230, 200, 1,000, 320, 200, 1,000. Okay, so there it is. I got to be ready to go to the calculator. The calculator's ready. So here I go.
270, 200, 400, 274, 400, 281, 400, 302, 400.
I can't believe this!
65, 400, 322, Ford, testing. 270, 200, 400, 274, 400, 281, 400, 302, 400, 265, 400, 322, 266, 230, 200, 1,000, 320, 200, 1,000.
9130. That's too high. So let me see if I can find mistakes. This is not, that's wrong. 230, not 223 though. The rest might be okay. The rest look, it might be okay. So I get 7130. I go to Uber driver. 7130. Haha. So listeners, let me review what I did here, because I know I got this distraction in here. But all I'm trying to do is add these numbers. Where does this number come from, and where does that number come from? This is the total of my deliveries, plus tips, and, well, I won't just say plus. I won't be vague about this. I'm trying to be very, very specific. It's the tips and the surge, boost, and tolls, but it does not include Quest. So this number... This number includes Quest. So where do these numbers come from? I already went through here. I went to, this is trip history. I went and I added these 9 numbers up, and these 9 numbers equal that one. And then I went to transactions, and I added these up. I didn't add that, of course, that's my week's pay from last week. I added these numbers up, and these numbers equal that number. So I'm going to do that again I'm going to get rid of the voice recorder, just from the calculator. Let's not spend time, and it's a distraction on how I got these numbers here. But all I did is I went here to transactions, and I said 270, 200, 400, 270, 200, 400, 270, 200, 400, and then I finished with 320, 200, and 1,000, 320, 200, and 1,000, and there it is, 7130, and the total is 7130. So that's the answer. This is... It's kind of just listeners, if you're still listening now, it's just remarkable that I've been able to get an audience that cares about this, because it's just a real annoyance trying to interpret. It's a simple question. How much do I make? How much did I make today? And the answer, with all this tech and all these numbers, it's not very easy. So to explain how I did that, obviously, I could have used another phone, and I could have just right here on the video, I could have picked this up a little higher. I could have had another phone right here, or a calculator, or if I was using a phone as a calculator, and I would type in the numbers here. But I'm already using one phone to record this, and another phone so I wanted to be able to do this without using another phone. And now, when I do it myself, which I probably won't do very often, so this is a voice recorder that comes with, this is a default voice recorder that comes with the recent upgrade to my phone. So if I record that and then I switch apps, it immediately stops recording. However, I got this app, and I had to fail at this several times before I got this one. Easy voice recorder. Easy voice recorder. And that's it. Upgrade to Pro. I'll do a tiny advertisement for this thing. Easy voice recorder. There's the name. So listeners, if you care enough, you want this voice recorder yourself, it's DigiPalm. And what that allows you to do is record even when you flip into a different app. And I tried this. I flipped into a different app. I talked while a YouTube video was playing over my voice, and this records both my voice and the YouTube video, the audio of the YouTube video. So that is, I'm going to read it again, DIGI, DIGIPOM, DigiPalm, easy voice recorder. I failed at maybe 3 or 4 apps in the App Store before I found this one. This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, or restful night's sleep. Ciao.